All right, my name is Happy, and I was born and raised in Hammanskraal. And yeah, I also attended school here, and yeah, with all the things that are happening in Hammanskraal, that's how I actually got inspired to become active in the community, to create things that are not there, because I've always believed that it starts with me.
Okay, my name is Ben Bambata, also born and raised here in Hammanskraal. Studied here or schooled here. Yeah, so I've been part of many community development activities, trying to help young people as much as I can, seeing the challenges, in order for you to help the community, you have to be part of it. Okay, so how I got involved in community activities, I saw many young people struggling, and there were other young people who are doing something, so I had to join the movement of young people to address those issues, more like creating your safe spaces where young people gather and attend as many issues as we can. So yeah, that's how I got involved in it.
Yeah. How I actually got involved, I actually started with Love Life. I remember when I actually completed my matric, I didn't know where to go about to start with life and all that, but I've always had passion to drive change in my community. But now the only way to drive change back then was to join Love Life. Then yeah, I participated on Love Life programs. Then since then I've been growing and also running as fast as the social issues are running, because they are on a fast track, so one has to be always up front. All right, some of the challenges that I've actually seen in my community, it's substance abuse, and we have a serious problem of drugs. There's a lot of young people who are taking up, and definitely there's a lot of things that are contributing to that. To start with, we live in communities where there's less role models, and it's quite overwhelming to actually get things going. It's like when you are doing something different, it's like you're on your own and there's no support. So that's why we get a lot of young people resorting to substances and dropping out of school. And we also have an issue of teenage pregnancy, like any other community. So those are some of the issues that we are currently experiencing in my community.
Yeah, and also some of the challenges were young people who are dropping out, young people not valuing education simply because of lack of role models, and libraries where they could get more informations, more activities that can keep them off the streets. Substance abuse, because they grew up seeing other people smoking, so it was more quite a challenge to get someone who does not use the substances.
Yeah, and also not forgetting the issue of overnight millionaires, because when Ben actually talks about a lot of young people not valuing education, is because we live in a community where there's people who overnight they have a lot of money and they say nothing about education. It's like just go out and hustle, and that also makes a lot of young people to actually drop out and think about how to make a quick buck. The role of education in all these challenges is that I don't think it was given value at the first point. You go to school, you come back, and you even get to matriculate and nothing happens. You don't have that brother or that sister who would sit with you when you're doing your grade 11 and say, let's apply for bursaries and all that. It's like they're just waiting for you to complete your matric and the world is yours. How you get to the world, they actually don't care in most cases.
And also lack of exhibitions and the seminars where young people could see different careers, what to do, how to apply. I think that also bridged the gap of young people not following education, because there were no further information about how to apply. It was finishing matric, then you have to seek for a certain job to work. But hence there are bursaries, there are scholarships there to be there, but we never had that information coming through to see such chances exist.
I think how we can actually bring role models in the whole picture is through having like a lot of community activations, and also not only having role models in the community, but also having support of other people that are coming from outside. Because if there's one thing that I've also learned throughout is that people get to listen to people they don't know than people they know, you know. So if I were to organize a career exhibition, then I can do the organizing, but people coming from outside should run the program. Then that's when people will actually get to make it like I don't know how to put it, like to take it like more serious.
So I believe like being a role model for a certain community, you have to come from that community because you have experience, you know the struggles that comes with that community. You know, like if I'm a role model from a certain community, if you motivate young people, tomorrow they can still come and ask questions because you are there in the communities. When you talk about like substance abuse, you see that daily, rather than other person coming from some other place come to address issues that are in a certain community that he doesn't live in. So it's more like talking about something that you see every day. Young people could come and ask questions because whatever you say to them inspire them.
I think the society could positively contribute to the whole issue of role models through, like, you know, if like Happy could have could be a mentor to a child, and like being a mentor that you never had, you know, to another child. So that could also be, because I'm also thinking at like in terms of like accountability and all that. We need people that can also monitor progress. If I'm responsible for 10 young people in the community, that I have to make sure that they get their education right, they get opportunities and everything else, then I need to be accountable for that 10 instead of just taking a wide range and saying, you know, we are mentoring like the whole community.
Yeah, and also like the community could also contribute by like believing in the process of like you mentoring someone, and also get involved, also try to engage. You know, whenever you say we have a certain seminar there, they should contribute. Maybe not by being there, but like maybe helping you with like the resources, maybe bringing chairs. You know, it takes the community to build like.
I believe sometimes for us to address the issue of substance abuse, we really need to look into the root cause of it. Because sometimes we come with approaches to rehabilitate people, but we don't necessarily know how they even got there. So I think we need to create a space where people could actually speak out. What is the problem? How did I get there? Instead of coming with all the approaches and say, this is the approach, this is the route that you have to take for you to be safe. But can we listen to the people? I think if there's one thing that is actually missing in this, is that people are not being listened, you know.
Yeah, and we also need like a platform, more like where we could host dialogues about substance abuse, you know, have people who have used drugs, who just came from rehabilitation center, you know, and then to hear stories, because there has to be a story behind like one person using drugs, others are using it because of like, I don't know, stigmatized or peer pressure, challenges at home. So if people can be given a platform where they could express the reasons why they smoke drugs, how can we help them? And seeing someone who was using, who's no longer using, giving you the solutions like, how did I do it? I think it could help because the person has used, is talking from experience.
Some of the reasons why people actually get into substances is that, you know, we, as much as I said that it's quite overwhelming to live in my community, we want to belong. We want to belong to a certain group of people. And it becomes a problem when I cannot match the standard of that certain group. Then I end up getting another group, you know. So you find people not getting any education opportunities, and the only thing that is at their, something that is like present to them is a group of young guys who are smoking weed as a recreational drug, then it escalates to bigger things and they end up being hooked up. So it's just a matter of people actually want to belong to certain groups, and I guess as much as all the social issues are affecting everybody, but people want something to keep them away from all the stress and all that. So that's why they will end up being on drugs. Because personally, I've had conversations with some of them, and definitely they just didn't want to deal with unemployment or a lack of education and all those things. So it was just a simple way out for them to smoke nyaupe.
Running is all you've ever known. Don't dare look back. Almost as if this running will undo the past. Where will you run to? Where will you go? You've run all night. Another dead end, an empty road. You've run all night.
I'm always amazed by the people who smoke nyaupe, because those are the most, like, they hustle to get the next fix. And I'm always thinking, like, beyond, like, only if they could hustle for better things and all that. So that's something that always catches me, like, you know, for the fact that these people are on the street 7 a.m. they are there, then they back home around 9, 10, and you find some of them even having, like, you know, money to buy at least four times a day. So that means they could go out and get something like over 100 rand a day just to get the money. So hence I'm saying I think we really need to create a space where people could speak about it, because
And like most of those people who are using nyaupe, they have studied. You see them on the street selling food with the proper mindset of someone who have diploma in marketing.
Yeah.
They are doing the most well educated. They have ways. They are way too creative when coming to make money.
yeah, you could buy anything. They could definitely sell you beds on the fence and say you'll get them at home.
Yeah.
Just pay, you know. So yeah, it's tricky. I actually don't know how to go about it, but like, yeah, I don't know how we can turn the whole energy they have
Yeah.
for them to get the next fix, for them to make it for a better living or something like that. Yeah. All right, I think society as a whole, we need to consult. Like, I'll definitely go back to consulting with them. What is that they need? Because I know government has rehabs and they have tried many interventions, even taking them by force to rehabs, and they will still come back and lapse, which is my problem again. And sometimes we really need, like, programs that are quite sustainable, because I feel like if the government will come to Hammanskraal, take them to rehab, then drop them back without anything to do, then that might be another problem, because now I just have to, what else? I will definitely have to go back where I used to find the most joy. You know?
And also, like, the society should, instead of like creating solutions for them, like you have to go to the rehabilitation center, we rather work with them to come with like solution. You know, it's more like, how can we help you? Tell us what are your struggles, your daily challenges, and try to cook something out of the challenges. And then the last option will be like the rehabilitation center. While they're there, we cook something for them outside whenever they're done. That's the only way we could like sustain Yeah.
Definitely, because we always wanna rehabilitate them and all that, but like we hardly even ask a question, what is that they want to do? Yes, I think creativity could play a very critical role, but again, when we get to that creative space, who are we gonna also? I think the problem again is that who are we showing our creativity to? You know, because you find a lot of them find they can do poets, they can do poems. Some of them they are good musicians. Some of them they can do a lot of things with their own hands, but like they don't necessarily have someone to sit and listen to their poems, or to say, let me give you a time slot in a radio show and do your poems every Saturday morning, or let me take the things that you created with your own hands and put them in my store to actually sell them, then you get the return. You know?
Yeah, I believe like also the creativeness way should also include multi-talents, because like all of them, they have different talents, different things that they could do, you know. So if you get a certain talent from someone, you should maybe create a linkage, you know. If you can do poet, we get someone who can do poet, who's already doing, maybe making moves in the poet industry, we link you. I think linking them directly to the person that does the same talent could also help.
Yeah.
Than maybe seeing you can sing, then you can sing, you're out. But if you can sing, you see someone who's already a singer, you can be inspired, and then we link you directly. I think that could like take the whole attention of tracks, making you like, oh, I'm getting there, you know. Yeah.
And that person also maybe playing a role of mentoring them throughout. Yeah. At the moment, we have an initiative called Achieve Corporation, where we are gathering stories of hope, and we are actually trying to get young people who are doing most against all odds. We know it's hard to do things, so we actually want to get their stories, share their stories with other young people, and also, you know, encourage them to do more, and also try to see how we can link them with other people who are doing the same thing they're doing. Yeah.
Yes, we started the movement. Is it like 52 of 365? Ne?
Yeah.
So basically, like in each and every week, we're gonna drop each and every story of young people who's doing the most against all odds on our Facebook page. You know, trying to create a linkage. If someone sees you, you can sing. But basically, there's someone there probably who could like, you know, follow you, make contact. So we were more like creating a platform for them to be visible.
I would definitely say the social issues in Hammanskraal they're not gonna end themselves. So as much as we are playing our part, I think everybody should get involved. You know, it takes a community to get all these issues solved.
So it's the challenges are there for young people. So it starts with you as a young people to articulate some of the challenges that we come across. You know, yeah, so voice out in order to get help. The help is there outside.